Let's continue to celebrate our creative and talented youth and welcome to the stage the secondary Sistema Strings from West Valley City, Utah.
Awesome. That was, look, I have a 14-year-old daughter who plays the cello. So listening to that, it just kind of like, brought me some memories of my daughter, so that was beautiful. What a great piece. What are your thoughts?
Oh, amazing, amazing. I have a very soft spot in my heart for string instruments, and that was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So at this point, we'd like to welcome Sistema Strings all the way from West Valley, Utah. Welcome, folks. How you feeling today?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Trina, Rodrigo,
great.
Hannah, welcome. That was a beautiful piece. And listen, I mean, I'm a sucker for movie scores. And I saw Mulan, and some people were just like, they didn't like it too much. I loved it. I loved it. And that song in particular, powerful song. I've seen the one sung by Christina Aguilera. So tell us a little bit about that piece. I mean, that's a deep song. Why did you choose that number?
Yeah,
I'll take this. Yeah,
okay.
Roger, how about I start and then I'll pass it over to you. Okay.
That's great.
So we always go out and do community performances, but unfortunately last year it was COVID, right? And so we wanted to still be able to do something. And so we turned to virtual performances. And we also wanted to acknowledge and recognize all of the frontline workers who are helping to fight the pandemic. And so since Mulan was about this amazing, strong warrior, we did this as a tribute to everyone who was fighting the COVID pandemic together, because we are all one community and we are all doing our part start to hopefully overcome this pandemic. So I turned to Rodrigo and I asked him, I said, what do you think if we do this song from Mulan? And he was like, sure, why not? So now I'm going to pass it over to him and he can kind of talk you through his process since he was the magnificent arranger behind this piece.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was great just to be able to work with the other students that were in Sistema in our string group. And we just talked about it, and I started listening more to the song here at home, and I just started arranging it, seeing what parts I wanted to add. Like the song, I added pizzicato in the song, which I didn't originally was gonna do, but I did. I think it turned out great. Yeah, it was great.
Awesome, awesome. You got a question for Hannah, maybe?
Yeah. So, by the way, beautiful performance.
Yeah.
My question for Hannah is, what role did your teachers/mentors play in supporting your performance of this song?
Well, our mentors and teachers were able to give us feedback and ways that we could improve. Obviously, the person who arranged it was one of our own members, and getting to have him give us input was super special because obviously he has different parts that he wants to bring out. But then our teachers were able to use their wisdom and give us ways that we could truly implement what we were trying to convey. And I think it turned out amazing because of their feedback.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I
It's
mean,
amazing.
mentoring and coaching, it's,
Oh.
Especially in the creative arts, it makes all the difference.
It really does. I don't know where I would be without my mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah, to this day, they're still like some of the closest people to me.
Yeah, no, appreciate that, Hannah. Thanks for sharing that. And this question is for both of you, Rodrigo or Hannah. Tell us a little bit about, like, what do you want people to know about you as musicians? As you know, this Lights On celebration, Mic Drop, is about your voice as artists, because we know the arts is a great way to self-express. So what do you want folks to know about you as musicians? So we'll start with Rodrigo.
Okay. I want people to know that music is fun. Music is for everybody. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has different types of things they can play, different pieces from all over the world. Like music connects everybody. So it's a human, it's a part of human life, you know?
Yeah, music connects everybody. I love that quote. What about you, Hannah? What do you want folks to know about you as a musician?
I think it's always important to remember that sometimes it's hard to express through words what we're trying to feel, because feelings aren't words. And I think the great part about music is that people can understand exactly how you're feeling and what you're trying to convey, because as I like to put it, music is a universal language that everybody understands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a practice, I know this because I live with a middle schooler and a high schooler that does flute and cello, so I know practice is a big part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You're a poet. I mean, what role does practice and really perfecting your art play and just improving? How does that?
Oh, it's important. You know, I think the repetition just helps build the muscle memory. You know, just to almost circle back on the book. The book by Victor Wooten is a section about practice where he says, you know, practice is the process by which you convince your body that you can perform a particular activity, right? And I think practice, it just really ingrains it in you. Of course, I think that, you know, also feeling it is important, but also, you know, practice is such a critical element of it all. And we have a question from the chat actually about practice. They were wondering, were you able to practice all together, or did you have to practice virtually?
We were all together in person, gratefully. So in face masks, we had to wear face masks all of last year, but gratefully we were in person and not virtual. But all of our performances had to be virtual, unfortunately. But it was good for us to just be able to make music together and be amongst each other and celebrate the wonderful gift of music.
Awesome. And Trina, you know, after school is such a great space to practice, to perfect your art, to really develop that creativity. Tell us a little bit about West Valley, Utah, and the great programs that are taking place out there, particularly yours, and what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are Sistema Utah. We are an El Sistema inspired program where we service over 365 students after school. We are able to offer a variety of different instruments, violin, viola, cello, some band instruments, piano. We also have flute. You'll hear from our flute choir in a little bit. And we also have singing and general music as part of it. And performing is also huge. We want to make sure that our students know it is a wonderful talent that they have, and it is such a gift to be able to provide music for the community. And so we always try to get out there to share our gift with others to help brighten their days.
Excellent, excellent. No, that's great. I mean, keep doing awesome things out there in West Valley, Utah. We've got a couple of quotes here. I mean, I'll read one, and then you can read one, you know, Rudy, because I think they're awesome. Rodrigo, this is the question, right? Lights On is about celebrating the importance of after-school programs. What does your after-school program mean to you as an artist? And you said, it helps me develop musical skills and keeps me around people who like what I like. So I think that's an awesome quote. And from Hannah.
Yeah, so the quote from Hannah, if a middle or high school student wants to share their art, what advice do you have for them? And Hannah says, don't worry about what the future holds, just go out and share. And I think that's such an important thing to keep in mind. I know sometimes when we're creating something, like we want to see the end before we can see the beginning, right? And it's important to just be in the moment and create. So thank you so much for that quote. I think that's such a beautiful answer to that question.
Yeah, and I think what you all are sharing with us is this, and Rodrigo, your quote around, you want to be around people who like what you like, that you're part of a community. And that's really what after-school programs are. We are a community of folks who are just trying to go after the things that we're passionate about. And so I'll leave you, Rodrigo, Hannah, with any closing thoughts as kids from around the country are watching this broadcast of Mic Drop. What words do you have for them and advice as an artist? We'll start with you, Hannah.
Music has been a part of my life for a really long time. And I think that as artists in general, it's always important to remember that everything that you put out there is a reflection of what you're feeling, what you're trying to portray. And even though sometimes it may be hard or you may want to give up sometimes, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and you always feel a sense of reward afterwards.
Bravo. Rodrigo, take us home.
I'd say keep doing what you're doing. I mean, it's something that you love. If it's your passion, go for it. You're only here for a short time, and if you do what you love, you're gonna enjoy most of your time here. So, yeah, just keep doing what you love.
So much wisdom from our young people out there.
Definitely.
So Trina, and Hannah, Rodrigo, thanks so much for joining us today. Keep doing that awesome work out there in West Valley, Utah. Sistema, keep doing your thing. Appreciate you.
And thank you so much, Secondary Sistema Strings. You all have incredible, incredible talent. We can't wait to see how you continue to use your music to impact this world. I hope everyone is feeling energized and inspired.